Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I think we'll wait for some time because I think nobody has joined till now. Only one person is there. Okay, let us wait for some time. Good afternoon, everyone. And we are simply already late, 10 minutes. I was waiting for you all. So I think I'll start. Okay. Am I audible? Good afternoon, Alfred. Okay. Am I audible? Okay. So in the last class, we were talking about the stone masonry structures. So these were some of the examples of stone masonries. Okay. So how many different types of stone masonries are there? It can be your rubble masonry. It can be ashlar masonry. Okay. So rubble masonry, it can be coursed, uncoarsed, dry rubble, polygonal shape. Ashlar masonry, it can be ashlar fine, ashlar rough tooled. We have chamfered, ashlar facing, ashlar back in course. So, going to the rubble masonry, which is the coarse rubble masonry. What is your coarse rubble masonry? This is in this type of masonry. What happens? You have a straight bed and sides. Okay, you see here. This is the stones are usually square or rectangle kind of thing. Stones are used here. Okay, and they are hammered together and dressed to a straight cut finish. Straight cut finish means you see here, this is a straight line here, this one, then this one is a straight line. Okay, so in a straight line finish they are constructed, your rubble masonry. This is a straight line. Hmm. These are your straight line. You see, this is a straight line, here it is a straight line. So these are what, dressed on a straight cut finish. The finishing is a straight cut where you have square or rectangular shaped edges. Okay, this type of stones are used to construct this kind of wall. and that is why this is known as what? Your coarse rubble masonry. These are known as your coarse. The work is carried out. Okay, so we have next one is our uncoarsed. In the coast, what it was, you had a straight line, straight finish was there, but here you will have what? In the coast, sorry, this will be uncoast. Okay, this is will be uncoast. Uncoast. Okay, so uncoast, you see there is not no straight line here. This is how it can be here, here. It is not in a straight line, right? So these are called your uncoast. These are not in course, not in sequence. Okay, so the different sizes of stones, this, but this is also same. This also have square. Okay, square masonries are used here. The square stones, okay, with the straight edge, these are your edges, straight edges are arranged, okay, on irregular patterns. So doesn't have a straight finish, so these are known as your uncoarsed rubble masonry. Another one was what? Another one was your dry rubble masonry. And in this masonry, what happens? Mortar is not used in the joint here to join these stones, right? These stones with an irregular shapes. You see, they are not square. You cannot say all are square, but in the dry rubble masonry, we use different shaped stones to prepare, and they do not require any mortar. Okay, they do not require any mortar, and just they are fixed together. They are when you hammer them together, they will fix itself with the voids filled by the another sized stones. Okay, and that is why this type of uh, masonry is also cheap, and it requires more skill in construction. Okay, this is obviously used for non-load bearing walls such as compound walls, like you can see boundary walls, etc. Because here we are not using masonry, cement extra is not used, only just they are fixed together. Okay, so these are your dry rubble masonries, okay, with irregular shape. Another one is your another kind of rubble masonry is your what? Polygonal type of rubble masonry. Okay, so what is polygonal rubble masonry? In this type of rubble masonry, what happens? Stones are hammered and dressed, but you see here the stones which are used, they face, okay, they are used for face work and dressed in a irregular polygonal style. You see, in an irregular polygonal style, but these are also on a sequence, okay, but with a different sized uh, stones. Okay, thus the face joints are seen running in an irregular fashion. In an irregular fashion, you will see them running. Okay, but they are not of square size or same size edges with the same size edge. Okay, like a straight edge or square edge. Okay, they may be irregular in shape, but they will have a certain sequence, or they which will be in a line in course. Okay, but with different polygonal shapes. So these are known as your polygonal rubble masonry. Now we will come to Ashlar kind of masonries. Okay, Ashlar, first one of the Ashlar masonry is what? First is your Ashlar fine masonry. In this, what happens? In this type of masonry, your each stone is cut to uniform size. This is cut in this shape, this is also cut in the same shape is of same, but sizes may be different, but the shape is same. Okay, if this shape is this much, then this is also this much, but the size is small. You see, this is this much, but this is too longer than this one. Okay, so we have with all different sides of rectangular, so that the stone gives perfectly horizontal and vertical joints with adjoining stones. So obviously this is giving a perfect horizontal and vertical joints with adjoining stone. This type of Ashlar stone is very costly because you need to give the shape. All the stones should be of the same shape, whether it be of different sizes, but shape should be of perfectly with edge to edge shape should be same. Okay, then we have next kind of your ashlar masonry is what? Your rough. This one was your fine. You can see how finely it is done. Then we have your rough. Obviously, as the name suggests, this was fine, so it is finely done with the same shape. Okay, but this is rough. Okay, so what happens here? The beds and the sides are finely chiseled, dressed, but the face is made rough by means of tools. these face, the face which is face of the wall is made irregular. This is not smooth or fine, okay, like these fine wall, it's not same to that, it's rough. You make it rough or it is naturally rough, okay. A strip about 25 mm wide and made by means of CEEL is provided around the perimeter of the rough dress face of each. Only thing you need to know is that this is your rough. The face of this Ashlar rough machinery is rough, which is done with the help of CEEL. It is dressed with the CEEL. Okay. Another one is your Ashlar rough camphor. This is tooled, and why it is known as tooled? Because you're using here the, it is known as your raft tooled. Why tooled? Because you're using the CEEL. With the help of CEEL, you are making this face of the wall rough. But this face of the wall you're making rough by what? In this type of masonry, the beds and sides are finely CEEL dressed, but the face is made rough by means of tools. A strip about 25 mm is the same and made by means of CEEL is provided around the perimeter of the rough dressed face of each stone but is chamfered at an angle of 45 degree. Okay. See here, same to this, it is with the tool used to seize same. Only the difference is what here it is Caesar is covered around the perimeter of the rough dress face of each stone. Of each stone. Suppose this is one stone, this stone we are taking. So it is roughly dressed. With the help of Caesar, they will hammer with the Caesar and then they will make it rough. Here also they will do the same thing. On each side, on each stone, they will be taking the Caesar help. With the help of the Caesar, they will make it rough. Okay. But here what happens? It is chamfered at an angle of 45 degree. Okay. So what you mean by this? You see here, here it is what? Yeah, same line. This one. But here you will see there are, this stone comes in the middle and these are was in a straight line, but then again this come. That means there is not a same pattern, but here it is same, okay, which is to be meant by this. Okay, chamfered means what? It is cut, that means, okay, here it is cut edge between two faces of an object. Between these two, the faces, actually what do you mean by chamfer? This, a chamfer is actually what, a transitional edge, okay, between these two faces of the object. Okay, it can be 45-degree angle between two adjoining right angles. This is right angles to each other. But you see here, this portions, these portion, these portion, these ones, okay, they are placed at 90-degree angle, this one. But here the CEEL, with the help of CEEL, what is done? At an angle of 45-degree, it is CEELed here and it is made rough. This portions, okay, the edge portions. Here you will see it is lying in this way. This, on the top side it is inward, okay, and from here it is coming, like I'll show you this one. From here it is coming here like this, 45-degree angle. This made with the help of CEEL, this is undressed, or you can say with the help of CEEL, it is made rough, okay, but the placing is same at an angle 90 degree from straight line, okay. So this is your Ashlar Raft tool. It is Ashlar Raft Camphor. This is raft. It can be raft at the center. Here you see this one. But in the in place of this camphor, one Ashlar Raft Camphor, what this done? It is placed in a straight line, but the edges here, this face to faces, cut at an angle 45 degrees. See this portion 45 degree. It is seasoned. This side also 45 degree. This side also 45 degree. Okay. The next one is your Ashlar Black Incoast. What is that? This is a combination of rubble masonry and Ashlar masonry. Okay, this Ashlar Black Incoast is combination of both the rubble masonry and the Ashlar Masonry. In this type of masonry, the face work is provided with rough tooled or hammered red stones, and backing of wall may be made in rubble masonry. Okay, so you see here, this is the face of the, this is the face of your, these are your face which are made rough. These are roughed with chisel. These portions you're looking, these are roughly made face, but in the inward, this portion you will see the inside of the wall, inward side of the wall, these are made of what kind of masonry? This is a rubble masonry, because you see here, it may be polygonal shape, but it is in a straight line. Okay, in this straight line, it can be on the behind, it can be either polygonal, it can be square. Okay, it can be fine or it can be rough. Okay, but it is in the ashlar black in course. What happens, the behind portion is made of rubble, and the front face is made up of what, is made up of ashlar masonry. Okay, so next, these are the points which we should be considering during monitoring a stone masonry. First is what, hard and durable masonry. Hard and durable masonry stones free from defects like flaws, cavities, etc. Obviously, this you have to see. Like there is, if there is defected, your stones are very much defected and just cracked or from all the sides, you may not use those. You should not use those, because if you are going to use, then it's obviously going to not be stable. Okay. So next point is dressing of the stone should be as per the requirement. This dressing should be as per the requirement, like whether you are making ashlar, whether you are making rubble masonry, this dressing should be made properly, whether it is in line or a straight line, or if it is in different irregular also, it should be dressed properly. Okay, so stone should be properly wetted before they are used, so as to avoid sucking of water from water. Okay, if this point is important, that your stones which you're taking using for your construction of the stone masonry, what happens, you should wet the stone before using it. Otherwise, what will happen, the mortar which you're using to join here, if you're using the mortar here for joining these stones, what will happen, your stone is going to take the, okay, your mortar, this mortar is going to take the water. Stones should be properly wetted before they are used, so as to avoid sucking of water from mortar. This, the mortar may take up the water. Okay, or a little bit water, whichever it is. So if you wet them, what will happen, if this mortar takes up the water from the brick, sorry, not the brick, the stone also, what will happen, there will be remaining some moisture. Otherwise, what will happen, if there was a small amount of moisture also present in your rock, and that is taken up by the or this mortar, what will happen, it will become shrink, your stone will get shrinked, and it will get start breaking. Okay, stone should be laid on their natural bed. Okay, then facing and backing faces should be laid neatly and leveled and checked with wooden template. Okay, these are also done. This facing of the wall and the backing also should be leveled. Okay, that means nothing but your this one dressing. The heart of the masonry should be filled with stone chips and mortars. Too thick mortar joints should be avoided. Okay, when you're making this stone masonry, when you're joining these, suppose the stones you're joining, so what will happen, if you're using mortar, your mortar should not be thick, it should be thin. Thin layer of mortar should be used, so that your look of the masonry will be as you want. If you want, your stones will be visible to you like it is in a parallel straight line. But what will happen if you use too much of mortar here, suppose I have used so much of mortar, what will happen, this is one stone of the same style design, but you will have so much of mortar that will, the show of the wall will be very bad and ugly, like so much of mortar here, somewhere here it is less, and then again more, because the consistency or the straight line which you are considering and forming with the bricks, that may be distorted with the due to this uh, more amount of mortar if you are using. Okay, the show of the stone masonry will be finished. Next, if you see, this is the next point to be remembered is the verticality of the wall should be frequently checked with plumber. Okay, because you may be making the wall, but it may not be vertical. It may be inclined somewhere, and then if it is not vertical, it will take sometimes what may happen when it is inclined due to some force, they may get distorted, okay, or broken up. So next is what mortar with the correct proportion of sand and cement should be used, this so we know. Then continuous vertical joint should be avoided, okay. Then we have through stones. Through stone should be used within throw stone should be used within 1.5 meter distances. The height of masonry should be raised uniformly. Okay, it should not be like that, like the height of the masonry wall, like this is like you want to make this wall what has happening, you should be your height of the masonry should be raised uniformly. Like if you are placing the bricks here or your stones here, you should follow this pattern, and then you should complete this line, and then you should move to the it should not be like this, like you are keeping all the stones here. You're constructing the wall with the masonry, but this side you are not, this side some you're keeping, okay, and then you're going on making this side, okay. So it should not be like that. Your this, it should be done uniformly. If you're placing here, it should be placed here also. Then you should go to the second level, here, this you should be doing in this manner uniformly, okay. The height should be uniformly done. Then we have under the beams, trusses, seals, etc. Large flat stones should be used. Okay. So before continuing work, the masonry built on previous day should be well cleaned and free from loose particles, obviously. So curing should be done properly for 2 to 3 weeks after your construction. So these were the points to be remembered during your stone masonry. Okay. I show you now. Now we have done with the stone masonry. We will be doing what? We will be talking about the where is I'm sharing. Now we will talk about the stone masonry. Oh, sorry, not stone masonry. We have talked about the stone masonry. Now we'll be taking up the brick masonry. What is brick masonry? We were our topic was masonry. So now, taking up the brick masonry. I'll show you. Wait. Okay. I'm just checking whether garden bond classification of brick. Hmm. And one more thing about the attendance. At the end portion, I will be sharing a link with you all so that you can give your attendance there. Just in the chat box, I'll be dropping a link, and you go to the link and give your attendance there. Okay. After that, I'll close the link as soon as this class is over. Just before 5 minutes, I'll be giving you your link for attendance. Just give your link there, attendance there. Okay. So now, if I show you. Where is my Cisco? Okay. Hmm. So now coming to your brick masonry. To know brick masonry, we have to know first of all the brick bonds are, and what are bricks. Brick bonds, this are the brick bonds. You see, using mortar we have joined the two or other bricks in a sequence, you can see. So brick bonds are an essential part of wall structure. Brick is a standard size weight bearing building unit. Several, you all know what is brick. I'll not go much into this. Several bricks are laid together in stacks. Mortar pieces placed on top of each to form a firm bond. Okay. These are laid to form the structure. There are different ways in which bricks are termed as bonds. Okay, now see, we are joining these bricks together with the help by bonding them together. Okay, so there are different kinds of, or you can say different types of bonds for a brick, which will form together when we join or bond the bricks together. It will give us a masonry. Okay, so brick masonry will be formed. So there are different bonds with the help of which a brick masonry is formed. So what is brick masonry? Brick is a building, we know what is brick, is a building unit which is in the form of rectangular block in which length to breadth ratio is 2, but height can be different. Okay. Masonry is what? Masonry is the construction of building unit bonded together with mortar. Okay. Masonry means what? When you are constructing a building and by bonding some materials together with the help of mortar is known as your masonry. Now, what is brick masonry? The art of laying brick in mortar in a proper systematic manner gives homogeneous mass which can withstand forces without disintegrating, called brick masonry. Okay, so brick masonry, you know, masonry means what? To join together different materials for construction with the help of mortar. And so brick masonry means what? When you're joining or bonding two bricks together, two or more bricks together, this is known as, with the help of mortar, it is known as your brick masonry. Now the brick masonry uniqueness is what? It is fire resistance, it's about its size, durability, workability, it's economical also. Okay, these are the some of the characteristics of bricks. Brick will not burn or buckle or melt. Brick will not rot and allow termites to invade. Okay, these are some of the characteristics. Bricks will, you know these things. Brick will not rust or corrode, or you know these things. Like in the iron or steel rods, it will happen corrosion, but here brick, it is not going to happen. Brick will not dent. Brick will not fade from the sun's UV rays. Brick will not be damaged. Okay, by high winds, rains, or hail. Brick will not require constant maintenance. And once you're done with the help of mortar, you have bonded together, you will, what happens, you don't need to keep on monitoring, or you don't need to keep maintaining those things. Okay. Then next is your brick will not devalue. Okay, devalue means like you have constructed the wall. Okay, so the value of the brick will be same. Okay, if you break the wall and then you take out the wall bricks also from the when you break the bond between the mortar and the bricks, and then you can also use in different construction again. Okay, so its value remains same. Okay, brick will not limit your personal experience expression. Brick will not limit your design options. Now, these are the advantages of brick masonry. The brick masonry is cheaper than compared to stone masonry, obviously. Bricks are of uniform size, bricks are very workable, bricks blocks don't need any dressing. Bricks are, but you know, this dressing is required in your stone masonry, right? But in brick blocks, you don't need to have the dressing. Obviously, why? Because the shape and size is same, right? Of the brick. When you lay them together, they are of the same shape and same size when you put them together with the help of mortar. Okay, then so you don't need a dressing. But in stone, what happens? It is rough, it is irregular shape. So to give a plain, this kind of plain finish, you have to do the dressing. Okay, so bricks are very light in weight. Okay, so what happens? No complicated lifting devices are necessary in brick work. There is no problem to its availability. They do not require transportation from long distances. This okay. Raw materials. Now you see the bricks. It is made up of what? It can be raw materials which is used to make the bricks are what? Fly ash, lime, sand, and gypsum, or you can say fly ash, cement, and sand are manually fed into a pan mixed. This is the manufacturing of bricks. Okay. So the proportion of the raw material is generally between 60 to 80% of fly ash, 20 to 25% of sand, 8 to 10% of cement. Okay, or you can use this percentage also, this proportions also. Okay. After okay, this bricks when you have mixed these materials together, when you have mixed these materials together with this proportions, what happens? After that, you carry them to the wooden palace and then in the open air where they are dried in water cured for 21 days. You have seen, I think, the brick factories, these like this, it is laid there and dried in the sun. Okay, and also they are watered so that they are cured. This you don't need brick work in cement, first class brick. There you should know this. Okay, basically we are talking about brick masonry, but here I'm just showing you simply the brick work in cement, like how many there are different types of brick. Okay, like first class brick, second class brick, third class bricks. Okay, so first class brick is what? The cement or lime mortar is used here. With the first class brick, the surface and edges of bricks are sharp. The thickness of mortar joints does not exceed 10 mm. Okay. Hmm. The second class is what? Ground molded bricks are used. Bricks are rough and shape is slightly irregular, but here the shapes are sharp. Okay, edges are also sharp. But in the third class, what is happening? Bricks are not hard, rough surface with distorted shape. Okay, used for this third class brickwork. These are brickworks. Okay, like with the help of cement mortar we are mixing and bonding these bricks. So this bond is how many types? For not bonds is how many types, sorry, the brick work is of how many types? It can be first class, second class, third class. So first class work of the brickwork means what? When we use the surface is sharp and the edges of the bricks are sharp and its thickness of the mortar does not exceed 10 mm. But in the second class, it is little bit irregular your shape. In the third class, it is ekdam hard, rough surface with distorted shapes. Okay, and your bricks are also very weak in the third class. Okay, and the mortar joint is 12 mm. You see, the thickness of the mortar joint is 12 mm, but here in the first class it is does not exceed 10 mm. So that means, as I told you in the previous slide, also 10 mm. Now, this mortar, this line you're looking, this mortar thickness does not, it should not exceed 10 mm in the first class brick. And also, if this is more, the thickness of this mortar is more, when you are joining these two bricks, it will be very bad. Because why? Your strength also may decrease due to that, and the show is obviously going because it will look very rough and irregular. Okay. Okay, these are your nominal sizes. You can see standard metric brick architecture, and nominal size of the brick is how much? This much. You know these things. Hmm. Okay, these joints you don't need tools using the brick masonry. Okay, this is important. This is for your masonry portion. Okay, brick masonry means these, actually all these comes to be very important, which you will need to know. The previous slides were just an introduction to your bricks, brick bonds, etc. But these actually for the brick masonry, these things are very much important. Wait, give me a second. Okay, so these is important for your brick masonry, which is your queen closure. What is your queen closure? You need to know. What is your king closure? You need to know. Okay, so what is a queen closure? What is a king closure? What is three-quarter bat? What is half bat? Because when you are bonding, when you are making brick masonry, when you are bonding different bricks together, these things will come across. Like what kind of bond you want, what a three-quarter bat you are using for your bond, or half bat or quarter bat. Okay, this, so you see here, these figures are also given here. What do you mean by queen closure? Queen closure is a brick which is cut in half down its length. So you see here, this is your queen closure. You can see the arrow here. This is your queen closure. When you, this is your brick, right? This is your brick. If you can see my pencil here, this is your brick. When you break this brick on the length side, half, when you use this half of the brick along the length, okay, you cut down this brick along the length, and that to half, it is put equally cutted, equally halved, and you use this portion for your bonding. You use this brick after cutting half length. It is known as your queen closure, and that bond with the brick, these types of bricks, when you take and bond together, they are known as your queen closure bond. Okay, then another one is your king closure. Now what is a king closure? A brick which is cut a corner and joining middle points of width and length of the brick. So king closure is which one? This is your queen closure. Here, okay. I think to next class we'll start with this. Okay. I'm sharing you the link. Okay. Give you attendance there. Everyone go to the link in the chat box I have given. You go to the link and give your attendance there. Uh, till your class ends, like for 5 minutes we have, so you give your attendance within this 5 minutes. Okay, now let me check you have how many you have given. Understood? Give your attendance there in the link. Okay, I've shared. Yeah, Raju Mosorong, I got your attendance. Everybody, yeah, there's also Benison. I got Pankaj Shah, Arif Khan, Ruposhri Sinha, Atobe Shohei. Others also I'm getting. Likha, Ivan Sivius, Atul, Majat, John, Burwapang, Longkumar, Alfred. How many participants are there? Let me look. 24 are there. Others also give here, okay, your attendance. In the next class, I think I will go with the brick bonds like queen closure, king closure, half bed, quarter bed, all those bonds. We'll talk about that, okay. Chris Tongsom, I got your attendance. Motiu Rahman, Chawang, Hijam, Rohit, 17. Chris Tongsom. Just Nalin and TP. I got. This link will be open to the meeting. Okay. Jimo, just go to the link and give your attendance. Don't give in the chat box. Hisole Chung 63 and 17 enrollment. Just go to the link in the chat box which I have shared and then give your attendance there. Okay. Next class we'll be talking about these. We'll start with this. Okay, the brick courses and closures, queen closure, king closure, all these things we'll do. We'll go to their orientations, rules, etc. Their bonds. These are different bonds. Flemish bond, English bond. These things you have to know. Very important. Flemish, English bonds. This all garden wall bond, header bond, stretcher bond. What are those things? Okay. So these in the next class we are going to talk about these. With the help of these, the English bond, Flemish bond, what are they? With the help of these closures, we'll just check. Okay. 75, 63, 17, roll number. Go and give in the this thing. Okay, link. I'm getting the names. Where are the names?